Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm your coach, your host, David On Point Huffman. Right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Thank you very much for checking us out here on the show. Please like, share, and subscribe here at Prime Sports World as we go live basically every single day, bringing you guys the most up-to-date content. In today's show, we're going to talk about week number 14, Monday Night Football. We're going to give out some game balls, and then we're going to have our week 15 preview as we are all down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to the National Football League. I've also shared the StreamYard link into Facebook or into YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So if you want to join us and talk a little NFL action, more than welcome to do so. As I mentioned, I'm David Huffman. Right there is Mr. TJ Hopkins. And before we get into the show, a quick shout out for our boy at the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Happy birthday, my friend, out there in the Big Apple. Hope you're having a great birthday and enjoy the rest of your evening. That is why he's not on the show. But don't you worry. His shameless plugs will still be a feature on the show, I promise. But yeah, welcome into the show, TJ. Happy birthday to Christian.
Yeah, happy birthday to Christian. 32 years young. Man, y'all old. Damn, y'all old.
We are old, man. Let me tell you.
I said y'all, not we. Y'all.
Man, you're not that far behind, man. When you're 28 now, man, you're gonna be knocking on that door for 30 before you know it, man. Hopefully your 30s go better than what my 30s have gone. For real. Like, so ever since I turned 30, I almost got killed in a hurricane. The pandemic started, and then I moved back in with my parents. It's a rough 4 years, man.
But you're back out now, right?
Yeah.
You're better for it.
Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. But let's talk about week number 14, Monday Night Football. Our condolences out to Kyler Murray. I do believe he tore his ACL. I have not seen a report where it's been official what his actual injury is.
I haven't seen anything either.
But it didn't look good at all. I actually thought it was an Achilles tear when I saw it live. And just our thoughts out to Kyler Murray. Hopefully you can get back and recover from this injury. If it is, in fact, a torn ACL, you never want to see a guy get hurt like that. Third play of the game just goes down, no contact whatsoever. You just hate to see it, for real.
Yeah, they did a sideline report about on the field he was like when they was carting him off, he was waving to the fans, thank you, all that good stuff. But the minute he got to that tunnel where he was out of sight, they say he put that towel over his head and the waterworks came. So it's pretty, it's pretty significant.
It's a significant injury for sure. But back to the actual football game. The New England Patriots won this game 27-13 on the backs of their dominant performance on defense. Mac Jones was just okay in this game. If you want to that might be being nice to how Mac Jones played in this game. 24 of 35, 235, one pick. Pierre Strong Jr., I think a third-round pick or something like drafted in 2022, got his first career NFL touchdown, and Kevin Harris also got his first career NFL touchdown. Both of those guys were drafted in this year's draft. As Ramondre Stevenson got injured in this game, tried to give it a go, but then was yanked at halftime. Hopefully he's going to be healthy enough because they're going to need him. Hunter Henry had the most receiving yards in this game for the Patriots as they did not score a receiving touchdown. And then on the Arizona Cardinals side of this, after Kyler Murray went out, you can kind of just see this team was a little bit deflated. They were in it for a lot of the game, and then the wheels just kind of came off in the second half. Colt McCoy, 27 of 40, 246 and a pick. James Conner punched another one in the end zone. I think that's his 8th of the year. 1585 and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 7 catches for 79 yards, and he had probably the most costly play in the entire game. Arizona was up in this game, and then DeAndre Hopkins, fighting for yardage, trying to make a play, fumbles it. They take it to the house.
Raekwon McMillan.
Yeah.
Raekwon McMillan with the scoop and score.
Yep. And sealed my fate in my fantasy season.
Yeah, you got two teams here that are just like disappointing for two different reasons. Obviously, if you're the Cardinals, you get a pass because DeAndre Hopkins missed the first 2 months of the season.
And now I also think now that I think Cliff Kingsbury he may get to keep his job. He's like, I didn't have my star wide receiver for the first 6 games of the season. Then I lose Kyler Murray for at least 6 games. I didn't have my full complement of weapons. Like, I should have another opportunity at this. I don't know exactly if that's the way it's going to shake out.
It probably will.
I mean, if you're Cliff Kingsbury, you got to be like, hey, when I had a full deck of cards, like I took this team to the playoffs. Like,
no, because
what was it? What was this team before I got here? Drafting early in the draft.
Drafting number 1 overall. Yeah. And that's kind of his argument. Like, so it's like I lose DeAndre Hopkins for, like I said, 7 games. All right, that's basically 2 months, a month and a half of the season. Going into the season, I didn't know that was going to happen, but it happened, and now you pretty much have to revise your entire game plan for 2 months because teams are now going to be teeing off on you because, he doesn't have that nuclear weapon outside to bail him out. All right, so you're 4-9 now. As of yesterday, you're 4-9. Season's pretty much over, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, I'm. It's pretty safe to assume Cliff Kingsbury is at least safe for 1 more season.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, we literally just said why he would be.
I know, but I still think he might get fired. I mean, it's the NFL the NFL. I can see a scenario where he gets fired. So, just saying.
You also got to keep like how much is his buyout? Like sometimes that's not. It's just like
teams don't care about that anymore. For real, come on, let's be serious.
What's going on, fellas?
They fire coaches after 1 season. Wait, come on, they don't care about the buyout. That literally means nothing. It's pennies.
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
That's okay. Okay, like that's a buyout. Like that's a buyout during the first contract, not an extension. Cliff got an extension.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Usually extensions are more expensive than the initial.
And they wouldn't be buying him out. I mean, they just straight up fire him, and then they just pay the length of his contract. It's not like it counts against the salary cap. I mean, who cares? It's literally pennies for NFL teams. It's pennies.
Same thing. But anyway, the Patriots they're a disappointing team for different reasons. You can just see the frustration on Matt Jones's face the last couple games. Like he's
been like their carousel at offensive coordinator, their carousel and like their weapons on the outside. He doesn't look happy at all.
Like this guy, he's clearly regressed in his what was this his second season, and it's not even his fault. Season. It's not even his fault. All right, like it's just. Man, like
they're not putting the tools around him. I mean, Devontae Parker.
What was the game in where he was yelling at Matt Patricia or whoever the hell?
Last one they played. Andy had a verbal altercation with Matt Patricia in this game too.
Right, so it's back-to-back game. These are
back-to-back games.
These are back-to-back nationally televised games.
Well, I mean, every game actually televised.
Well,
no. This was the way
man.
ESPN Monday Night Football. They're the only game on TV. Is what TJ said, alluding to. Come on now.
Come on, man. Don't do
that. No. But TJ, you're right though. That's like the only game on TV because last time was Thursday Night Football. This was what Monday Night Football.
Monday night.
Well, first of all, I don't need to see the Patriots on national like I don't need to see them on primetime TV anymore. That's first of all.
I don't need to see the Cardinals on primetime.
I don't need to see the Cardinals either. So, honestly, I just think, alluding to your guys' point, he doesn't really have the weapons around him, nor the offensive line around him to be a successful, signal caller. It's not like they
still made the head scratching decision of trading Shaq Mason before the regular start of the season, a proven guard. I don't know,
But the defense is really, really, really solid, and they have a solid core. I mean, I always feel like the Patriots always find these guys, at the running back position that are contributors. And Ramondre Stevens, just one of those guys that falls right in the line. And he had a really productive career at Oklahoma. So, and it's translating to the NFL.
And he's been good for them this season and last season.
Yes.
He can stay healthy. Yeah. I mean, that's been the knock on him. He can't stay healthy. And when Damian Harris is healthy, he's a workhorse.
Yeah, no, and what they need to do, they just need to give Mac Jones. I don't pull the plug on Mac Jones, even though I've been kind of highly critical of him. I don't pull the plug on Mac Jones because one, Hunter Henry has been lackluster this year, and then you don't have the weapons on the outside that really separate in terms of talent from the elite DBs in the NFL. If you got Jacoby Meyer and Devontae Parker going against their other team's number 1 and number 2 wide receiver, that's DBs. That's just not going to cut it.
Yeah, Devontae Parker's their only really reliable weapon. I mean, Jacoby Myers is a nice player, but he's nothing special.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, this is thoughts on the Kyler Murray. Let's quickly move on from the week number 14. Let's talk about game ball.
Let me ask a question. To you guys before you move on. Is Kyler Murray ever? Like, I looked at his contract. He has to have like 600 yards rushing, damn near almost every year in his contract. Is he ever going to be the same player with that knee injury again? Running football?
I don't know.
Or is he going to have to kind of mold his game, transition his game to how Dak did?
I think
less mobile.
I think the argument has always been that Kyler Murray should take less hits anyways because he is a smaller frame. Like, he takes some crazy hits and he just he's not Jalen Hurts with a big body where he can sustain that stuff. He's not Josh Allen. He didn't even get hit. I mean, that's how most knee injuries happen. You don't no contact, but he's going to have to change the way he plays football. He's going to.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those we got to wait and see. We got to see it's medical.
But a lot of his game, he's 5'0". A lot of his game comes out of the pocket. A lot of his passing game has to come out of the pocket. I mean, he can throw inside the pocket, but he's less effective inside the pocket. So that's why I'm I don't know if he's ever going to be an elite quarterback. I think that the Arizona Cardinals are in for one with that contract that he's signed.
We'll see what ends up happening. That's more of a future conversation. Let's talk about game balls for this week in the National Football League. You kind of missed the last couple game balls, so I'll let you go now with your game ball from week number 14.
My game ball is going to Mr. Irrelevant, Brock freaking Purdy, beating Tom Brady at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He didn't kill him. He didn't kill the team. He had a rushing touchdown. He had a passing touchdown. I think he threw 1 interception in this game, if I'm not mistaken. But Brock Purdy looked like he belonged under center for the San Francisco 49ers. And if I'm a 49ers fan, I feel pretty good about it. I like I don't know if you guys ever heard what Colin Cowherd said, but I actually kind of agree with him in a way. He's a more mobile Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a guy that's accurate. He can complete 68% of his passes in a Kyle Shanahan offense, which that's all Kyle Shanahan wants you to do. And he has the element of throwing it deeper than what Jimmy Garoppolo can do. So, yeah, I like Brock Purdy moving forward for the San Francisco 49ers this season. I think they'll have some success. I don't know if they'll make it to the Super Bowl, but, I think they'll have some success with him. If he completes 68% of his passes and not turn the ball over, I think they'll be just okay moving forward in the playoffs.
TJ.
And Kyler Murray did tear his ACL, so he's done for the season. My game ball, it got to go to Baker Mayfield, man. You was there for 2 days. 2 days, and you go in and you lead a game-winning drive, 98 yards, right? And what more needs to be said, man?
I know what needs to be said.
You get
this coming from a dude that's highly critical of Baker Mayfield. First of all,
you get that on the Tuesday. You practice on Wednesday. You play the game on Thursday, and you win.
Execute a 98-yard touchdown drive. I'm actually going to give out 2 game balls. I'm going to break my own rule. And I'm also not going to give it to Trevor Lawrence, even though he's very much deserving of a game ball. My first game ball is going to go to Jerick McKinnon. 7 catches, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Kansas City Chiefs. Has really stepped up in the absence of Clyde Edwards-Helaire over the last few weeks. So Jerick McKinnon, good for you. And then my other game ball, lesser-known guy, J.K. Dobbins. 15 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown in that game. Has tried to come back off that ACL tear that he suffered in preseason last season. Came back and played 1 game this year, re-aggravated something, has missed a bunch of time, and now he's back, gets in the end zone. I think it's his first touchdown of the year. It's good to see J.K. Dobbins back in the National Football League. Kudos, J.K. Dobbins, game ball.
Hey,
he got most of it on that 45-yard run.
Matter of fact, hey, David, I'm gonna give out another game ball, but for different reasons. My game ball going to Shannon Sharp for having the patience of a saint. Because if that was me, Izzy, I'd came across that table. And Izzy,
oh my gosh, yeah, just a little context, David. I don't know if you watch Undisputed, but Skip, they were talking about Tom Brady. And Skip literally basically said that Tom Brady was better than Shannon Sharp. And I rightfully so, you can say that. But only because Shannon was saying that, Tom Brady looks old, and he does look old. And, for you to say that to a guy that got a gold jacket, it's highly disrespectful to throw a personal shot at Shannon Sharp. So, yeah. He took the glasses off, so I know he was pissed.
So yeah, moving on as we close the chapter on week number 14, we open this thing up to week number 15. We got some Saturday football finally back on the schedule. We get 3 weeks of Saturday football, 1 game in prime time. So football Thursday, Saturday, Sunday night, and Monday night. So hopefully you guys get to enjoy some football action. Let's first talk about Thursday night football, a big one between San Francisco and Seattle. San Francisco 9-4. Seattle reeling a little bit, losing 3 of the last 4 games. They're 7-6. Obviously, the last time these 2 teams played was earlier this season, September 17, 2022, where San Francisco beat down Seattle 27-7. How do you guys see this game shaking out now that they've had some time to kind of figure out who they are as teams? Brock Purdy making his second start. Chris McCaffrey now in the mix for San Francisco. Izzy.
You know what? A lot of this predicates on like the health of Kenneth Walker. I think him with that ankle injury.
I do think Kenneth Walker plays in this game.
Yeah, I mean he has that ankle injury that's kind of been bothering him the last couple of weeks. I honestly see San Francisco winning this game. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Brock Purdy going into a hostile environment in Seattle. That crowd's going to be loud. The defense is, we talked about the defense. They've improved. But, hey, TJ, Geno Smith has come back to life a little bit last couple weeks, ain't he? And I know you're going to say it, so I'll just say it for you. And he's come back to life a little bit, and that's hard to say. Old Geno Smith versus this San Francisco 49ers defense, that's not a good look. I got San Francisco winning this football game. Sweeping the Seattle Seahawks.
TJ.
Yeah, these NFC West matchups are always they're always tough. They're always physical. They're always hard hitting, right? It's definitely not the matchups of old that we were blessed to watch. You know, the Legion of Boom and Kaepernick going back and forth, going to battle, like, because those were some battles, right? Like those are some battles. Brock Purdy is okay. Yeah, it's easy when you're the quarterback in the hostile, like your house is the hostile environment, right? Like because they're cheering for you. Now you're on the opposite end of that. How are you gonna react to playing in the stadium where you can't hear nothing? You got to do silent counts. Now I understand this is Brock Purdy. He went to Iowa State. He played in some big stadiums. He played at Texas. He played at Texas. He played at Texas. He played at Baylor. He played at Oklahoma. He played in some pretty hostile environments in college. But this ain't college. These are grown men with families to feed. But I'm gonna go out on the wing. I'm gonna take Seattle in a close one. I think Geno Smith can get it done. I think he can make just enough plays that Brock Purdy can't make to get it done. So I'm going with Seattle.
And as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're still going to get those shameless plugs from Mr. Christian Simpson. I'm going to be providing them. This is shameless plug number 1 for Christian Simpson. This is a game that he's going to preview on this site, dailyblitz.blog. Keep an eye out for that content. But I am not Christian Simpson. I make picks on this show. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I just think the defense is going to be too much for a team that's coming back down to earth a little bit in the Seattle Seahawks. I think they've been exposed a little bit on offense and on defense. Give me San Francisco 49ers to win this game on Thursday night, going on the road in Seattle. And keep an eye out for that article from Christian Simpson. That's dailyblitz.blog. That is shameless plug number 1. We got 5 of them here on this week's episode of Prime Sports.
Damn, 5 of them.
Yeah.
What a busy guy.
Swinging into Saturday, we got the Indianapolis Colts, the disappointing Indianapolis Colts, going into Minnesota, taking on those Vikings coming off that loss to the Detroit Lions. Indy 4-1, Minnesota 10-3. Last time these two teams played was in 2021. Do you remember who won that game?
Colts Vikings 2021. Did the Colts win that game?
I'm going to go Colts.
The Colts won that game 12-10.
Yeah.
A real barn burner there in Minnesota.
Right?
Yeah, yep. But yeah, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings win this game. I think the Colts I think the Jeff Saturday, the high off the Jeff Saturday, them getting a couple wins after that coach has worn off. Give me Minnesota win this game easily. They're going to bounce back in a big way.
How many wins did he get? I think he's only got 1 win. Didn't Jeff Saturday only got 1 win?
He's got 1 win, and then he was competitive against another team. That's what the narrative is right now.
Yeah, he was competitive.
Then he got blown out the third game.
What was it? He beat the Raiders. He beat the Raiders, and he was competitive against the Eagles? It was 17-16.
Yeah.
So
and then he was, and then he had the debacle with the time management, with the clock management, and the timeouts.
Correct.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was bad. That was terrible. Yeah. I'll go TJ. If I'm gonna go with Minnesota. They're gonna be a little hungry here. Coming off that loss against Detroit. I just don't think that Indy has enough offense to keep up with their offense. I think their defense is gonna be a little tired. Just trying to keep up with Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hockenson, Dalvin Cook, that running offense as well. As a matter of fact, I am going to be a little critical of Minnesota. They don't run the ball nearly as much as they should. But that's their head coach's decision. I mean, he wants to pass the ball even when they shouldn't pass the ball. But I'm going Minnesota to win this game. Just don't think Indy has enough offense to compete with Minnesota.
They don't.
Like the Detroit Lions did.
They don't sweep it. Like plus the Vikings are pissed off, right? Like
pissed
Justin
off.
Justin Jefferson should have had like 250 yards and a touchdown. Like they took his touchdown away from him. Like so, yeah, he is upset.
Moving on to the second game on Saturday afternoon. All 3 games, by the way, on NFL Network. So you're going to have a upgraded sports package in order to watch these games, I believe. But Baltimore going into Cleveland, taking on the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore squeaking out the victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland coming off getting beat down by the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. This game is in Cleveland. Last time these two teams played was earlier this year. Baltimore won that game 23-20. TJ, how do you think this game's going to shake out?
Who's quarterbacking for the Ravens?
It's probably gonna. It's probably gonna be Anthony Brown.
Concussion protocol.
Yeah. That's tough.
The Ravens gonna run. They're gonna pull a New England.
I do think that they're gonna run the ball. It's like Trevor Edwards, Kenyon, the Drake, and J.K. Dobbins are gonna have a combined 40 carries in this game.
Yes. They're gonna do a New England Patriots.
Well, like, it's
when New England ran against.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah.
Well, Izzy, you weren't here yesterday. I said it to David. Like the one thing I like about the Ravens is that all three quarterbacks on the roster have the same playing style. They're all mobile quarterbacks, so they can run the same offense. They ain't got to change nothing, right? So even if it is Anthony Brown and Huntley has to be the backup, you're not really changing much, and you kind of have the advantage over Cleveland because no one knows what Anthony Brown can do. They don't have any tape on him, right? And if you're the Cleveland Browns, like you got to be licking your chops because this is like, oh, this is the perfect game to get Deshaun Watson, like some confidence, he can potentially have a good game here. I just don't see that happening. Like this is going to be game number 3. This is game number 3 out of like his first 700 days back, right? So he's all you're looking for if you're Deshaun Watson is to be better than you were than last game, right? So like your first game you were terrible, you were better yesterday or Sunday, be better than you were last game. I'm gonna take the Ravens and the Justin Tucker walk off.
I also can take the Ravens. I don't think he'll take a Justin Tucker walk-off. I expect to win the game easily. This will probably be like 15-10. That doesn't sound like an easy victory, but it will be. Cleveland will score some garbage points to make things semi-interesting, but Ravens are going to run it down their throat, and the Browns have not been able to stop the run this season. They've really struggled. Give me the Ravens.
It's kind of disappointing
on the road.
I'm actually going to go with the Cleveland Browns here. I think I saw some positive things out of Deshaun Watson the last game. I think he's going to take another step this game. I like what I saw of Donovan Peoples-Jones catching that football for him. I think he gets David Njoku a little bit more involved. I think they get the running game going with Nick Chubb. I really just, like you said, you don't have a lot of tape on Anthony Brown. I don't even know what college he went to. Where the hell did he go? Did he go what college did he go to?
Oregon?
I can't even remember.
Oregon.
Did he go to Oregon? Oh, he was the kid from Oregon. I don't even know.
I'm guessing. No, hold on.
I honestly don't remember this kid.
No, he went to Oregon.
So I can't really speak on him.
He played at Boston College and at Oregon.
Oh, okay. So this kid. We don't know what he can do. And I think honestly, I think Cleveland has just a little bit more offense in this game. Then now, if Tyler Huntley plays, then I'll go with the Ravens. But Anthony Brown's playing. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I think Deshaun Watson takes another step up in his third game of the season.
Hey, by the way, quick shout out to me for knowing that without having to look it up. So good for me.
Oregon! Oh, look at you! I couldn't even remember when this kid played. I mean, I don't even think did he even play a lot at Oregon. I don't even think he did.
I honestly have no idea. I just know he played at Oregon. Moving on to the nightcap on Saturday, we got the Miami Dolphins winner coming off losing 2 games in a row in semi-embarrassing fashion against San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Chargers, going into Buffalo, coming off the 2-game winning streak, beating New England and then beating the Jets. I believe, is there a game? Was there a game in between? I cannot remember, to be honest with you. Last time these two teams played was earlier this season, and Miami squeaked out that victory 21-19. And gentlemen, you know what's coming. Shameless plug number 2 from Christian Simpson. He is going to preview this game on the website dailyblitz.blog. So go ahead and check that when that article goes live. As for me, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. They found their stride. They're a little more commitment to the running game here. And Miami, what they looked like on offense the last few weeks has been problematic for me personally. Also, This game, it may be played in a blizzard, which benefits Buffalo, I guess. Give me the Bills to win the game. TJ.
Well, yeah, I'm taking Buffalo too. Like you already know, like that first game. How that first game went. If there was 3 more seconds on the clock, Buffalo wins that game. Buffalo wins it easily. Buffalo wins that game. They get in the field goal. They got in the field goal range. They just ran out of time. Yeah, the way the Miami Dolphins have played the last 2 games is not something to brag home about. Tua has not looked good. Tua has completed, I think it was like 46% of his passes the last 2 games. When you compare that to 70% the first 9 games, now that's what happens when you actually play, defenses that can get after you. Like they're rushing him, they're making him get off his spot, all that other good stuff. So look for Ed Oliver to have an impact on this game, especially if it's in the snow. I don't think Tua's ever.
They're projecting blizzard.
Oh my god!
I don't think Tua's ever played a game in.
Oh my goodness, man! That's
like think about it. Really think about it. Like Alabama, he didn't go anywhere cold. He didn't go anywhere cold when he played in Alabama. He's
from Hawaii.
Right. Most of the big games, like most of the championship games, were played in the dome. And then he goes to Miami where he doesn't play a lot because he kept getting yanked for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I don't think Tua's ever played in snow.
I mean,
it's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be an interesting game for him. Anyways, he's gonna do a lot of handing off to Randy Mosley, and a lot of short passes to Tyron.
I also am not sure Jeff Wilson plays in this game. So
I'm
Jeff Wilson.
Oh, Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo. You guys can sweep it. TJ's right, man. They're gonna be coming after this kid. He hasn't looked good the last few weeks. He hasn't really completed a high percent of his passes on the shorter passing side. I would like to see, for Miami's, I would like to see them get, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki. If everything else is failing, I mean, try and get your tight ends involved. But I don't know. Is Mike Gesicki even playing? Is he hurt?
Yeah. No, he's
still playing.
Yep.
He's been in there. He just has been MIA. I mean, seriously.
They just don't really target him. I mean, not to mention Tua's been wildly inaccurate the last 3 weeks. So
wildly inaccurate. So they're gonna have to run the football. And I just think Buffalo has just enough. But I'm not really too impressed with Buffalo's offense. To be honest with you, I don't think they're as good as what we advertised early on in the season. Josh Allen's literally played himself out of the MVP conversation, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that.
But yeah, no, I like to see a lot of James Cook in this game and Devin Singletary in this game against Miami.
Josh Allen don't care about that. Go get that ring, boy. That's what he wants.
Moving on from Saturday, we swing into Sunday, and let's keep the first game semi-brief as the Philadelphia Eagles go into Soldiers Field, take on the Chicago Bears. Eagles obviously 12-1, coming off beating down Christians, New York Football Giants. The Bears coming off their bye. I do believe Justin Fields will play in this game since he came back before the bye against the Green Bay Packers. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I've always I'm always curious as to how teams, good, bad, doesn't matter, how they come back after a week off. Like, what did you work on? What did you tighten up? What did you add? What did you take away? Like that kind of thing. Obviously, if you're the Bears, you're playing like you're gonna have one of those top 3 picks, maybe. Top 3.
Hopefully.
I think you're third right now because Denver lost.
Correct.
Oh yeah. So it goes Houston, Denver,
us,
Chicago, which is actually Seattle's pick.
Correct.
Because Denver's.
And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So obviously if it gets you're hoping for some kind of improvement. If and when it gets too out of hand, just pull everybody. There's no need to keep them in a meaningless a meaningless ball game. So yeah, just we already know sweep it.
Moving on, let's just move on to the NFC South. We got the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints going ahead. I believe these teams are both coming off their bye.
Desmond Ritter's the starter.
Desmond Ridder is getting his first NFL start. Atlanta Falcons at 5-8, the New Orleans Saints at 4-9. Surprisingly, both of these teams still in the hunt for the NFC South because it's just been that year. Last time these two teams played was earlier this season. Falcons won, or the New Orleans won. I think this game was played like in London or something, or it was played like stupid early in the morning. New Orleans won on a walk-off field goal. Then Younghoe Koo tried to match that field goal and went to get the winner, but he missed it. But how do you guys see this game shaking out? And apparently, yeah, both these teams still in the hunt for the NFC South at 5-8 and 4-9.
I'm not putting the Falcons in that hunt. When like you lost that right when you made Desmond Ridder the starter. Like you don't go to a rookie with your season still on the line. You don't make that move.
That's stupid. That's dumb as hell.
I mean, if you're Atlanta, what's the point of making the playoffs? You're just gonna get beat down by the Cowboys. Like, don't even bother.
But that's not the point though. Like I think that's what like y'all fail to realize. They don't care about that. Like the goal is to make it to the dance. You can't dance. Like the goal is to get there. What are you like? You still got to get there. Like they don't care about draft pick. They damn sure don't care about your fantasy team and all that other good stuff. They want to win. They want to compete. And
you know what? I would say the only reason they're playing Desmond Ridder is because one, I do believe like they probably want to see what they have with Desmond Ridder in some NFL action, and they probably seen some good stuff in practice, and they know that okay, if we lose these last couple games, these last few games, we can position ourselves into the top 10 or whatever. And if Desmond Ridder isn't the guy, then we can go get a quarterback. And so that's why I think Atlanta's thought process is on right now. Give me New Orleans to win this football game. I think Alvin Kamara has a big game. I think he's been very lackluster the last few weeks. I think Alvin Kamara has a big game in this game against Atlanta. Like a big game like he did. What was that game he had, David, a few weeks ago where he had like 4 touchdowns? 5 touchdowns?
Man, that was like 3 months ago, it feels like.
Was that 3 months ago? No, it wasn't. It felt like it. It feels like it.
I'm looking at that stuff tomorrow. I'm actually going to take the Falcons to win the game. I think Desmond Ridder comes in and gives them some energy. This Saints team hasn't been impressive at all. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. As a semi-upset, even though they have a better record than the Saints right now. Moving on to another team. 2 teams going in semi-opposite directions. Detroit Lions going into East Rutherford, New Jersey, taking on those New York Jets. Detroit, winners of 4 of the last 5, including a beatdown of Minnesota last week. New York Jets reeling a little bit, losing to Buffalo here on Sunday. Last time these 2 teams played was in 2018. Do you know who won that game in 2018?
Who was this? Lions and Jets?
Jets, Lions. This game happened in Ford Field, 2018. Exactly.
Did the Lions win that game?
No, the Jets won that game 48-17 in a shellacking. But this year, I'm actually going to take this as my upset special of the week. I'm going with the Detroit Lions to win this game. Their offense has been clicking at all cylinders over the last month and a half. They're put themselves securely in the playoff hunt. I'm going with the Detroit Lions to win the game. Upset special for me, Detroit.
Well, I don't even know if this is an upset at this point, to be honest.
I
don't even think it's an upset. I wouldn't call this an upset at all.
I'm taking Detroit either way.
Jared Goff has played really well. He's played under the radar and really well this season for the Detroit Lions. To the point where the Detroit Lions don't even need to think about getting another quarterback. They just need to keep building that defense or building whatever holes they have on offense, which is probably another weapon.
Who says that all the time?
I've been saying that the whole time. The entire time.
Yeah, so I like the Detroit Lions to win this football game. I checked the weather in New York. I thought it was gonna be because I know that Buffalo was getting some snow, so I thought New York might be getting like some rain or some snow, some inclement weather. And I was like, that doesn't bode well for the Detroit Lions in a way because they're playing the dome all season. But yeah, no, it's actually going to be like 40 degrees in clear weather. So I think the Detroit Lions offense will get going. Pressure Mike White to kind of throw the football. Throw him into some situations. Even though I know the DBs are Detroit are not that good. But they play competitive defense. They played last week competitively. Defensively showed some effort. But offensively, I think Detroit's got them. In the air.
Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets. They got the defense to make life hard for Jared Goff. I swear to God, look at most of their games, bro. Like Jared Goff is getting like little to no pressure. Like you had Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith, and you got sacked 0 times, bro. Like 0, none.
I mean, the Detroit Lions offensive line is like wild.
I understand.
They are very improved this year.
But I am looking. I'm just looking at. Who the hell finna go? Who finna block Quentin Williams?
I mean, they have arguably.
Penei Sewell. They have.
I mean, arguably they have the best center in football. And was it Frank Ragnow?
Frank Ragnow, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, arguably he's the best center.
Hey, when I saw Penei Sewell catch that football, I thought he was a legit fat boy tight end.
Who finna block Quentin Williams? I'm gonna ask that question one more time.
Frank Ragnow can handle it.
No,
Frank Ragnow can handle it.
Not 1-on-1. Not 1-on-1. Not 1-on-1. Do y'all see Quentin Williams? Do y'all see that?
We see him. I see him. We see him.
Come on, dude.
We see him.
It's all
we see him. And see, you know what? And CJ Mosley's their middle linebacker, right? Yeah, CJ Mosley's been nice this year too, man. I give it to you, but I just think that the Detroit Lions have too many weapons, man, offensively for New York Jets to handle, bro. Like and Basley is pretty decent as a kicker. I mean, I think he can make, some clutch kicks from 45 yards, 48 yards, which I think this game will be won in with those clutch kicks.
Moving on from this game, let's talk about one team from the AFC going into one team from the NFC. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Carolina. Both these teams at 5-8. Carolina coming off beating the Seattle Seahawks. Pittsburgh losing to the Baltimore Ravens. I do not know what the status is of Kenny Pickett at the time of this recording. I'm going to assume that Mitch Trubisky will be the starting quarterback for the Steelers, probably for the rest of the way. Last time these two teams played was in 2018. Carolina got beat down by the Pittsburgh Steelers 52-21. How do you see this game shaking out, TJ?
Mike? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Izzy. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I was going to say, it's Kenny Pickett's second concussion this year. So, yes, Mitch Trubisky should be going the rest of the way. That's kind of concerning to me for Kenny Pickett in a nutshell. But, I'm actually going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this football game. I think defensively they're going to get after it. Against Carolina, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have no other reasons. I don't even care about this game, to be honest with you.
I'm taking the Carolina Panthers. I've liked what I've seen out of this Carolina Panthers team. A recommitment to the run, and Sam Darnold has been pretty efficient at the quarterback position since he regained that starting job. And their defense has been much improved. The secondary, Brian Burns, getting pressure under the quarterback against a Steeler team that doesn't have the best offensive line. Yeah, give me the Panthers to win this game at home and stay in the thick of it when it comes to the NFC South.
To the thick of it?
Hey, man, Mitch, if you can't beat the Carolina Panthers, bro, come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
He can beat them. I got faith in him.
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers. He can beat them. Come on, man.
Come on, man. He better beat him. And then he's got that defense. The defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers has been playing well of late. Sam Darnold's a turnover machine. We all know he's been in his whole career.
Yeah, give me money, Mitch. Give me money, Mitch.
Money Mitch? It's better than the nickname that I gave him yesterday.
God, Cocaine Mitch? Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. I'm done.
If you've never seen the Blankenship campaign ads when he was running for whatever he was running for with the Cocaine Mitch stuff, it is a hoot. Moving on from that game, staying in the early window. I think this is the last game in the early window. We got the Dallas Cowboys going into Jacksonville. and taking on the Jaguars as they go back-to-back as AFC South opponents. Yeah. Cowboys, Jacksonville. Let's not waste a whole lot of time. I'm taking the Cowboys.
No, see, like you can't say that though because we said that.
Man, they looked horrible last week.
They looked horrible.
They looked bad, but they won the game anyway.
So
bad teams find a way to lose the game.
Okay, the Jags are better than what people give them credit for, and
it's true. They have a positive point differential, and Trevor Lawrence has been pretty good this season.
And they play well in that little tennis stadium that they have over there in Jacksonville.
They do.
Because, I mean, it's literally the size of a tennis stadium.
Duval County, baby.
So
that stadium is small as shit. I'm sorry for my language.
Obviously, if you're the Cowboys and you blow this team out, that means like you did what you're supposed to do to the Texans, and you took this game seriously. And you I think last Sunday.
Actually, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a positive point differential. They did not anymore. It's at 0 points. 0.
All right, so
they have no point differential whatsoever.
Obviously, if you're I think the Cowboys got a little.
They still have the highest point differential in their division, but that's
which is. I don't think that's saying much.
Saying much there. That's not saying much.
Obviously, I think the Cowboys got a little scare, they got a little fear factor in them because I think Sunday kind of hit home hey, we can't play like this. We can't play like this again. We can't play like this against the upper echelons in the NFL, in the playoffs. If we have a game like that in the playoffs, we're going home. We're going home. We might get lucky with that first round matchup. You might get whoever wins the NFC South. So you probably get a W there. But if you got to go to a San Francisco or a Philly in the divisional, you're going home. And you play that game like you had against the Texans, you're going home. Because they're not going to turn the ball over in crucial times. They're not going to go for it on fourth down and not convert the fourth down. Because they're not going to let it get to that point. So you go into Jacksonville, you take it seriously, you punch them in the mouth, look for Micah Parsons to have a 2, maybe 3 sack game, and get his name back in the DPOY race because right now that award is going to Nick Bosa as currently constructed. So yeah, the Cowboys should win this game, and they better win this game.
Yeah, no, give me the Cowboys to win this game. I do not anticipate Trevor Lawrence to have a 3 touchdown outing again in this game with no interceptions.
If he does, it's gonna be he's gonna have a few interceptions. But if he do throw 3 touchdowns, it's probably gonna be garbage time. Not mean nothing.
Yeah, right. So yeah, no, I do agree, and I think Derrick Henry was killing them in the first half running that football. I do think that the Dallas Cowboys will make it simple, give it find ways to give it to Tony Pollard, find ways to give it, get it to Zeke Elliott in the run game, which will slow this game down for Jacksonville and let the defense settle in. So, give me the Cowboys.
And I lied. It's not the final game in the early afternoon window. The next game is Kansas City going into Houston, taking on the Texans. Kansas City beating Denver. Houston coming off that loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, give me Kansas City to win this game in probably what should be a beatdown.
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to Houston and Lovie Smith. They had a good game last week against Dallas. They lost from the bad teams, found a way to lose. They are going to get slaughtered here versus Kansas City.
Moving on to the first game in the late afternoon window, we got the Arizona Cardinals, probably with Colt McCoy as their starting quarterback, going into Denver with probably Brett Rippon as their starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Arizona Cardinals 4-9, Denver 3-10. Last time these two teams played was in August of 2019, and the Broncos won 20-7. Gentlemen, how do we see this game shaking out?
Well, until they release something about what's his name, Russell Wilson, I'm assuming that Russell Wilson's playing and not Brett Rippon because they haven't.
I think it will be Brett Rippon.
Have they said anything?
I'm just going off a gut. I've never seen somebody have like a boil on their head after.
It's okay. It's a lump.
I do not.
It's not a boil. He got lumped up.
Whatever.
He got lumped up. He took a hit. He got lumped upside his head.
I don't think he's gonna play.
Sierra threw a heel at his head for playing so bad this year.
I also do not care who wins this game. To be totally honest with you, this feels like one of these games where I don't care. I'll take them.
I don't care. I am gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals. I trust Colt McCoy over Griffin and any of those guys that Denver has. Because give me D-Hop, give me Connor, give me Marquise Brown, give me Robbie Anderson, give me whoever, Trey McBride, with Colt McCoy. I'll take those guys over Denver all day.
TJ.
Yep.
Moving on to another lackluster matchup here in the late afternoon window. We got the New England Patriots coming off taking that victory against the Arizona Cardinals there on Monday Night Football, going into Las Vegas, coming off taking the L to Baker Mayfield and the Los Angeles Rams in the final seconds. New England 7-6, Las Vegas Raiders 5-8. Last time these two teams played was it's a preseason game. I don't know. I'll look it up. Who do you guys think wins this game? TJ.
Man,
are
the Patriots still in the playoff picture?
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders.
Wow. Oh my God.
Give me the Raiders.
That's insane how they're still in the playoff picture.
I mean,
give me Bill.
They're 7-6.
Give me Bill. Give me Bill over his former assistant because he has a good record over his former assistants, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, he does. In
the assistants' defenses, those assistants who went on to have head coaching jobs and played against Bill Belichick, those guys didn't have Tom Brady for most of that.
That's true. That's true.
Bill Belichick did.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'm going with the Raiders. Give me the Raiders.
Fair enough. No, give me the Patriots because the Raiders. They don't deserve to win another game this year after they lost to the LA Rams and Baker Mayfield after just having the playbook for 2 days. No, they don't deserve to win another game.
I'm also reluctantly going to take the Raiders. I just don't think New England's going to score enough points to stay in this game. Although I know their defense is elite, and hey, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm taking the Patriots.
There we go, David. There we go.
Moving on to a battle for playoff, I guess what could be a playoff matchup in the future here with the Tennessee Titans going to LA, taking on the Chargers. Both these teams at 7-6. Chargers coming off that victory against Miami. Tennessee taking the L at home versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time these two teams played was in 2019. Tennessee edged out the Chargers 23-20. And gentlemen, you know what doing is? It's time for shameless plug number 3, as Christian will be doing this game on the Daily Blitz.blog. Go ahead and check out that game, as that is going to be on the website as well. As for me, I liked what I've seen out of the Chargers. They have an opportunity. I don't think they're going to get Rashawn Slater back this week, but he's on. He potentially could come back. Bosa could come back. Chargers on offense kind of clicking a little bit. They're getting the weapons back. Give me the Chargers actually go to beat Tennessee. This game is in L.A. Izzy.
Derrick Henry's going to have 200 rushing yards, and Justin Herbert's going to have over 300 passing yards. Derrick Henry's going to have over 200 rushing yards against the Chargers. Come on, man. That defense can't stop a fly, man. They can't stop anybody from running that. I think Derrick Henry's backup can have 100-something yards on this team.
Anyways, is the backup.
Dontrell Hilliard can probably have over 100 yards against the Chargers. But, give me the Chargers because I think Justin Herbert will make more plays in the air than Ryan Tannehill obviously will. And I think that makes a difference when we're talking about big chunk plays when you really need them. But I think Derrick Henry is going to have an excellent game in this game.
TJ.
Give me the Chargers. I think I just think that I just think the Titans are going to get down too much to make Derrick Henry run the ball. It's kind of gonna be like what happened against Jacksonville. Like they're gonna get down too big, they're gonna panic, and they're gonna say Ryan Tannehill throw the ball 39 times and take us home.
That ain't a good recipe for success.
Bro, like real talk, real talk, like half the time, like teams with great rushing attacks, they neutralize it themselves because they just they just hit the panic button. It's like, all right, I'm gonna throw the ball more times than I normally do because analytics says I have to. Like, no, do what makes you successful. Like
analytics has ruined sports.
Oh, stop it! No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has.
To an extent. To an extent. Yeah, like Izzy's right. But give me the Chargers. I'm Chargers by 10.
I agree with you. I think the Chargers get up big, and but Ryan Tannehill's not able to make the plays to get out of that hole. Moving on to the final game in the late afternoon window on Sunday afternoon. Good one here. Cincinnati Bengals going into Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Thomas Edward Brady. I know I'm missing one of the names there.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Thank you. Junior, actually. The last time these two teams played was in 2021. Bengals edged them out 19-14. These two teams are going in opposite directions a little bit. Cincinnati coming off the win against the Browns. Tampa Bay lost to San Francisco in a blowout. So, TJ.
Okay, again, which team got embarrassed on national TV?
I think you know the answer to that question.
There you go. You're back home. You're taking a team from the north, and you're putting them into mildly humid weather in December, right? Like that's so like it's the complete opposite. Like you always like wonder how a hot weather team would play in cold weather.
Man, it's in the mid 40s in Cincinnati right now. It's not that cold.
Compared to okay, that's right now. Are they playing a football game right now? No, they're not playing a football game right now.
They're practicing right now for a football game. I mean, it's going to be in the 40s all week.
Not at 9:00 at night, David. Come on, David.
9:00 at night.
The math ain't math.
They're not going to be playing at 9:00 at night.
The math ain't math on your end. When they go to Tampa Bay, it's probably going to be in the 50s, maybe 60s in December.
Uh-huh.
So how does a cold weather team react to playing to 60 degrees in December? They're not used to that.
It's not that cold right now. I mean, just like it's not that cold
in
Cincinnati.
Right now, David, it's not 60. It's not 60 degrees.
On Thursday, it's supposed to be 51 degrees in Cincinnati.
Wait. I think with the offense though, TJ, I think the way Joe Burrow and those guys sling it, they're playing in Tampa Bay, right?
They're playing in Tampa
Bay. Yes.
In Tampa, I think I think that offense travels well, especially I think it'll travel well in a hot weather state. I would think. I would think Jamar Chase. Yeah.
I know T. Higgins is probably questionable with the hammy, so
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if he plays.
No, give me it's gonna. I think if Tampa Bay can muddy this game up and make it ugly, they win. So I'm going with Tampa.
I enjoy being a man of chaos, and I want to see Tampa Bay lose another game. And I have Carolina make things interesting as we go down the stretch here. I also think that Cincinnati is just a better football team right now. That offensive line in Tampa Bay is really problematic, especially when you have the edge rushers that Cincinnati is going to be bringing to the table with Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson. Tom Brady is going to have a tough day at the office. Cincinnati is going to win this game.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati to win this football game, man. I just think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they look old, they look beat up, they look like they're just not in it this season. I don't think they're really like playing like their hardest for Todd Bowles, in my opinion. Tom Brady just has to throw the ball a little quicker than what he's used to this season.
A lot of bubble screens, a lot of quick
passes. I mean, the offensive line also isn't generating anything in the running game, so it's
in the running game.
It's all on Tom Brady, and he just hasn't been able to do it.
and he hasn't been able to do it. Yeah, he's up there. So yeah, give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. I wouldn't say it's going to be I wouldn't say like they're going to win like handedly, but I would say Cincinnati wins by by a touchdown. I would say.
I agree with that. Moving on to the Sunday night football game. We got the New York Football Giants, Christians, New York. You know what I forgot to do on the last one? Shameless plug number 4. Go on to Daily Blitz blog and check out Christian's breakdown of Cincinnati versus Tampa Bay. And moving on to the final game on Sunday, Sunday night football, Giants and the Commanders. Giants coming off to getting beat down by the Philadelphia Eagles. Washington Commanders were on their bye. Both these teams are 7-5-1. Last time these two teams played, they battled to a deadlock, 20 points, tie. TJ, how do you think this game's going to shake out? This game is in East Landover, Maryland, where the Washington Commanders play.
Hopefully it don't end in a goddamn tie again.
Yeah, no, and lose me $700. I could have won $1,400 on this one, guys. Jeez, let's go.
I think Washington pulls it out. I don't like the football the Giants have been playing the last month, basically. And we already know Washington's a different team at home. Like the fact that Washington is having a semi-good season is a miracle in itself, considering that the Dan Snyder report finally came back and. Yeah, like they found out all the stuff that he was accused of. Yeah, he did it. And the other NFL owners kind of abetted him in doing it. Like they helped him hide it and whatnot. So that's another story for another day. But give me the Commanders at home. Real talk, I don't think it's going to be all that close. I really don't.
Shameless plug number 5 and the final shameless plug. Shout out to Christian Simpson. Happy birthday, buddy. As he will be previewing this game on dailyblitz.blog. 5 games for you to preview if you go to his website. They should all be up by the time the games kick off. So go ahead and check out that content. As for this football game, I think the lack of weapons on the outside for the New York Football Giants is really getting exposed here down the stretch. They just don't have anybody that scares you on the outside, and I think that only gets worse against the Washington Commanders, who should get Chase Young back. I've been saying that for over a month now, so who knows? But I do think Chase Young will play in this game coming off their bye. Commanders win. I think this could be a blowout. The wide receiver on the outside that has been playing well for them is in concussion protocol, and that's Richie James. So, I don't know if he comes back for this game or not. And I don't know if it really matters. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones haven't been playing that well this past month, as TJ alluded to, and the defense hasn't really been playing that well. They gave up, they should have won that last game against Washington, and they gave up a touchdown with 2 minutes left. And then they couldn't get any offense going after that touchdown and in overtime. Neither team. But give me Washington to win this football game against the New York Giants at home. I believe that they look more hungry than the New York Football Giants. Without a doubt. Moving on to the final game, Monday Night Football, a battle between two probably the most disappointing teams in the NFL this season. Of the Los Angeles Rams at 4-9 going into Green Bay, into Lambeau, and taking on the Green Bay Packers. Los Angeles Rams pulling off the miracle victory against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Packers were on their bye. I do not remember. Oh, they beat the Bears the week before their bye. The last time these two teams played was November 27, 2021. Packers beat the Rams 36-28. I do believe Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback for the Packers. But there's no Devontae Adams. There's no Matthew Stafford. There's no Aaron Donald. How do you guys see this game shaking out? Snorefest. Well, the Packers. He said it. He said it. Snorefest. Snorefest is what it is. The Packers are still technically in the playoff hunt for some reason, aren't they? Yeah. Technically. I mean, with a loss, they basically have control of their own destiny. They're only 2 games back of the Giants in the wild card hunt. I mean, theoretically could still make the playoffs.
Yeah, they can theoretically still make the playoffs.
If they lose one more game, it's probably over.
Yes. I don't anticipate them losing to the Rams at home. And Baker Mayfield at home. I mean, he's got another week with the playbook, so he might do some more things, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, give me the Green Bay Packers. I think, Lord, I think a big thing will be Jair Alexander locking up, whoever the hell they have on the outside. Which
is that
whoever?
Let me ask you this. Is that really saying much?
I was gonna say that it's not saying much in the grand scheme of things. But my thing is they're gonna be forced to run the football, which I know the Packers have struggled a little bit, but I think in this game, I think they'll be able to neutralize the running game, and I think Aaron Jones will have a big game in this game, getting out. And my guy Christian Watson, who has been a revelation of sorts in the last 4 or 5 weeks, he has been a touchdown machine. I think he gets another touchdown in this game. He's a speedster. I like the Green Bay Packers to win this game and keep the playoff hopes alive. Right?
I'm also taking the Green Bay Packers here in this game. I think the Rams without Matthew Stafford and without Cooper Kupp and without Aaron Donald is just not a good team. And the Packers still have Aaron Rodgers for what that's worth still this season.
This game is definitely
this
game is definitely going to give me Cowboys Texans vibes. Where I think the Packers, not you, Izzy, but I think Packer faithful are we play the Rams like you say, David. They see all the things that the Rams are missing. They think they got them an easy one. They're at home, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be a nip and tuck ball game down the wire. And
I didn't say this game was gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be still fairly close. I just think the Packers are gonna edge out and get the victory.
Yeah, they should, right? They should. They absolutely should.
If the Rams can run the football with Cam Akers, they have a good shot at beating. They have a good shot at neutralizing.
They just need to muck up this game. They just need to.
That's it. That's all they need to do.
Limit the number of possessions for Aaron Rodgers in that Packer offense and just play dirty, messy football.
Make it ugly.
And Baker tell Baker to not beat beat the team, not beat yourself up, not beat yourself, because all you need Baker to do is really, hand the ball off to Cam Akers and don't make any turnovers that's gonna hurt the team in the process, and really muck it up, like you said. Mm-hmm. You gotta get the chance to beat the Packers, because
I think where a lot of teams mess up against teams like the Packers and teams like that, it's how do you, especially at a tough place to play like Lambeau, how do you react to that initial? How do you react to that Packer punch? What is the Packer punch? When you feel like something ain't going your way and they getting it all, and all of a sudden it's that momentum shift. Momentum shift in that Lambeau, it just feels different when it's not in your favor. So how do you initially how do you react to that? And it, if you can wail that, if you can ride that wave and be all right, we got this. We're not out of it. We're still in this. Then the Rams have a good chance. But the Packers should still win this game.
Agree with you. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. But that's been our week number 14 Monday Night Football recap and our week number 15 preview / predictions. Thank you very much for checking us here at Prime Sports World. And please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast so we continue giving you good content, including tomorrow where Fantasy Football Weekly will air and the crossover will air as we talk about some things going on in the National Basketball Association. And I get to talk about all of my woes when it comes to fantasy football from this season because I missed the playoffs in every league I'm in.
Oh, my gosh. Horrible.
I'm in a lot of leagues.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry to hear that, David.
You want me to break out the tiny violin?
I would love that.
I'm sorry to hear that, David. I'm sorry to hear that, David. Actually, one of the weeks I think
you and Devontae Adams.
Yes, it is. And awesome. I look forward to the crossover tomorrow, man. Oh my gosh. The Suns are losing right now to the Houston Rockets, David. Thank you a lot for
you did not.
You forgot to mention that Devin Booker was not playing tonight. Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not know.
And DeAndre Ayton, and you know what? When you mention this on the crossover tomorrow, TJ, you better rip into DeAndre Ayton. The man got 3 points and like 5 rebounds against Alpero Sengun, who got 10 and 11. Okay, come on, man.
We can definitely go in on the entire Suns organization because that championship window, he gone. He closed.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back here tomorrow breaking down all things fantasy and all things basketball. You don't want to miss that content. I've been David Huffman, my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and the CEO of Prime Sports World, Mr. Israel Rivera in the house. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We bring the heat, kind sir.
Yes, sir. We do bring the heat. And another bonus shout out, Christian Simpson. Happy birthday, my friend. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. You all have a good night. Peace out, brother.